Yo, what is going on, guys? Flashverse here, and welcome back to another video on Stargirl Season 2. Now, we're currently one episode away from the end of the season, which I totally cannot wait for. This ride has been really fast, and Stargirl is currently my second favorite DCTV show after Arrow. Now, one thing you'd expect going into Season 2 is obviously new characters that will be joining both the new JSA as well as the ISA. With that being said, I'll be going over a list of characters which I believe will be part of the new JSA and ISA going into Season 2 of Stargirl. But before I go over this list, however, you guys don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel so you are aware of more Stargirl content coming your way. Okay, so first off, I'll start off with the JSA members. So the first character I have in mind is obviously a character many people want to see, and that is a speedster. Now, the perfect speedster in my opinion that would fit this show perfectly is none other than Jesse Chambers, aka Jesse Quick. Now, this is not Violet Bean's version, this is just a different version of Jesse Quick that the show will come up with. Now, yes, a speedster would be pretty goddamn OP to be part of a show like this. However, they could potentially nerf the character a bit to make her fit, so obviously nothing like the Flash level power that she has. So maybe they'll do stuff where she can't like phase through stuff, or she can't time travel, or various other overpowered things that the Flash has. And instead they'll just keep it like the Flash Season 1 level of speed. And maybe she'll be able to throw lightning, but that will pretty much be it for her powers. But that is the first character I have in mind. Now, another incredibly OP character that I would love to see, and is probably my most anticipated one out of all, is Dr. Fate. Now, the problem with this is that Dr. Fate is literally DC's Doctor Strange, so he'd be the most powerful character amongst the JSA, and this is why it would be hard to bring in this character as well. Not just that, but the CGI for this character would be insane. Now again, there are different variations of Dr. Fate. In which one they could use, I have no idea. Now the thing with Dr. Fate is anybody could become Dr. Fate. You just literally need to put on that helmet, and then the Dr. Fate literally takes control over you. But if they were to introduce Dr. Fate into the show, I think they'd change this up a bit. So when the persona puts on the suit and puts on the helmet, they still control and become Dr. Fate in the same time. So Dr. Fate wouldn't take control once you put on that helmet. They would do something like that if he is to be introduced into the show. But as I said before, there are various different versions of Dr. Fate that they could choose from, which is why I'm not really sure which one would be the best fit for this show, because like there are so many versions of it. It could literally be anyone. And the one that died, we have no idea which version of Dr. Fate it is as well, so that's another thing. And this character is the least likeliest one to become part of the new JSA for Season 2, because as I said, not only would his CGI be mad expensive, but as I said, like everything else from his power and things like that, he will just become next level overpowered. And if he was to be introduced, I would assume he'd be nerfed as well. But come on, who wouldn't want to see Dr. Fate for Stargirl Season 2? Now, this next character has actually been teased in Stargirl episode 4 of this season, and that is Jakeem Williams. Now, during the end of Stargirl episode 3, one thing we saw was Courtney taking specific JSA stuff from the hideout. And one thing she took with her was the Thunderbolt pen that belonged to Johnny Thunder. And in episode 4, she puts it in her pen holder at home. Now, I believe this is to set up the new Johnny Thunder. So we obviously had Mike mention his friend coming over, and that is none other than Jakeem, who is Jakeem Williams, aka from the comics Jakeem Thunder. And he, at some point in Season 2, they could make Jakeem get hold of this Thunderbolt pen in some way, and he becomes Jakeem Thunder and could potentially join the JSA. But the fourth and final JSA member that I think could potentially join the new JSA, and let's be honest, is probably the most anticipated one amongst all, and that is another version of Green Lantern. Now we know the version that we saw Green Lantern with the original JSA was Alan Scott's version of Green Lantern. But during the ending of Stargirl episode 3, we obviously had Courtney take the Green Lantern from the JSA hideout as well, and we haven't seen her recruit a new Green Lantern yet. So that could be something that they explore for season 2. Now again, same with Dr. Fate, there are various different versions of Green Lanterns throughout the DC universe. But the most likeliest option, in my opinion, is actually the daughter of Alan Scott, who is the real Green Lantern of the JSA, and that is Jade. So I chose Jade because it's obviously in her blood, as she is the daughter of Alan Scott. So they could potentially introduce Jennifer Lynn Hayden in season 2, and she finds out her father was like a superhero and she gets hold of the lantern, pretty much playing out similar to how Rick was in season 1, but in the point of view of Jennifer Lynn Hayden. But yeah, this is the list I have for the JSA, and obviously if Henry King Jr. was to come back, then he would obviously be part of the new JSA as well as Brainwave Jr. But with the JSA wrapped up, let's now move on to the ISA. So obviously going into the season finale, I highly doubt every single member of the current ISA will be gone. I think some will be arrested, definitely, or even some will even be killed off. But you definitely expect some of the ISA members that we currently have to stick around, but definitely not like Icicle, Brainwave, or Dragon King. But the first ISA member I have in mind is obviously Cindy Berman, aka Shiv. Now Shiv was really badass, and I just love to see more of her in season 2. Now the thing behind this obviously is that in the latest episode we had this 1v1 roast battle between Brainwave and Shiv, and over here we had Brainwave drop the bomb on Shiv where he says that you're a failed experiment and no one cares about you, pretty much. So this could lead to her going her own path and creating the new ISA that she's planning. So Cindy Berman, I'd say, will be the leader of this new ISA if they're going that route. But another character that has been set up is Isaac Bowen as the new Fiddler as well. Now in the latest episode of Stargirl, which is season 1 episode 12 titled Stars and Stripe Part 1, we obviously had a brief introduction to the real Fiddler and how he used to get bullied until he stuck a bow inside someone's ear. And not just that, but we also had the death of Isaac Bowen's mother, Principal Bowen. And when she died, we had the camera focus on the violin. So obviously they're doing things to set up Isaac Bowen to becoming the new Fiddler. Now in the end of Stars and Stripe comic, we had the villain known as Johnny Sorrow get introduced as well. Now what this guy does is that he's creating his own team basically, and he goes up to Shiv, and she was the first pick basically. So Johnny Sorrow basically goes up to Shiv and recruits her basically. So Johnny Sorrow could be the new main villain for season 2 as well, and he's the leader of the new ISA as well. That could obviously be something that they could do. Now my third and final pick to who will join the new ISA for season 2 is obviously the son of Icicle, Icicle Jr. And that is really not a surprise. So maybe in the end of Stargirl season 1 we see the death of Jordan McKent, aka Icicle, and then we cut like Cameron seeing his like father die in front of him maybe, and he blames Stargirl for this, and obviously he'll be really angry for this, and this will trigger his Icicle powers, setting Icicle Jr. up for season 2 of Stargirl. But you would definitely expect Icicle Jr. to join the ISA, that is just not a surprise at all. But yeah, that is my picks for the new JSA and new ISA for season 2 of Stargirl. Thanks for watching. If you guys have enjoyed the video, please give a like and subscribe. Tell me in the comment section down below what you guys think about my picks for the new JSA and ISA, and also in the comment section down below be sure to share me your picks for the new JSA and ISA moving into season 2 of Stargirl as well. And yeah guys, I will see you guys in my next video.